Hey guys, and welcome back to my page. Welcome! If you have not been to my page before, please like the video. If you do, leave comments and don't forget to subscribe. Today I'm going to be doing a foundation, my foundation routine. I always use different foundation. I don't have one foundation that I use like every single week or every single day. I use a lot of NARS products. I use a lot of Becca products. Today I'm going to be using the Becca, but and when I'm going to work, obviously I use my MAC products. But today I'm going to be using Becca. I'm going to show you how I do my foundation routine. I wash my face and I moisturize. I let it dry for a little bit, let it get into my skin, and then I primed. The primer that I did use was MAC Prep+prime Natural Radiant in Radiant Yellow. I like the Radiant Yellow because it doesn't have any shimmer, any shine to it. It's just plain. It moisturizes as well. It doesn't have your skin feeling anything. If you do have oily skin, you could use their I believe it's neck tuck or tuck check or neck check, and it has more of a silicone base. But anyways, so going into the foundation, I'm going to be using a Becca, and this is the Radiant Skin Satin Finish Foundation. I do use two colors. I could just use the sienna, but sometimes I like to make it a little darker, so I use both of these. This is just, where am I? This is just a tad bit lighter. And the thing I like about Becca is that they do have darker foundations for darker skin tones. So you could get this in Sephora's or any other makeup store. And today, to put on my foundation, I'm going to be using a e.l.f. powder brush. It's almost like a stippling brush. It's one of my favorite brushes to put on foundations. And you know, people ask me all the time, do I use MAC brushes? I do use MAC brushes, but for some reason I like these brushes. I think they're inexpensive, and if they start shedding, I just throw them away. It's $3. Like, to me, I don't think it's such a big deal. I do like natural hair brushes to put on foundation. It just goes on a little smoother, but this is what I have, so I'm going to be using this. So just get a little bit of that foundation. Oh, that's a lot. That's not a lot. And first I start off with the sienna, and I start that on my face. And I like to tap on my foundation. It just gives this really natural look when you put it on. I have a really big pimple there, and I would color correct that. So first I start off by, let me change the lighting here. Ugh. Sorry. By tapping on, really getting that color in there. And I like to tap on my foundation. It just gives this really natural finish, other than wiping it on. If you don't like tapping on, you could do circular motions like that. It really gets it in there and moisturizes. For some reason, I don't like the lighting in here. That's a little better. So I tap on. And I tap and kind of swipe a little bit, kind of blending. And let's keep going in. And this is just a little bit of lighter shade. And I did go in and I used, did my eyes already. And I used the BHcosmetics 88 Neutral Palette. Get all in that area. And this is a medium coverage foundation with antioxidants, protection, and a lightweight satin finish. I really love this foundation. I bought this foundation actually from Hot Look. If you have the app, I bought it from Hot Look, which is a Nordstrom store. And sometimes they have discounted stuff. So I got it at a discounted price, a little bit cheaper than you could find it at Sephora's. But, you know, I haven't used it before and I wanted to try it. And I figure if I'm going to try it, I'm trying a discounted price. If I don't like it, I don't feel that bad about it. So I go ahead on that massive forehead of mine and really just blend in the color. Again, I'm tapping so I could get that real skin finish so we can look natural. And I go in above and I buff. And don't forget the neck. So I'm just trying right now to finish up the foundation that I have on the board, on my metal board that I use to put foundation on. My little metal plate. And I just tap on. I just love the natural finish to this foundation, and the way I blend it really makes it look like I'm not wearing any makeup, which is what I love. So I'm going to go in, if you see I have a little bit of pimple right there. My cousin was here not too long ago and she gave me, because she didn't like it, the NYX Dark Circle Correction Concealer. And I just use it for little scars. I go in just with my fingertips. And it's color corrected, so it has a little bit of that peachy kind of orange color to it. But, you know, it color corrects the scars, and it's a little dark because I'm a picker. And I pick at it. So sad, but so true. So while that is sitting, I am going to go in and contour my face. I do not leave the house without a good contour. And as you know, it's probably like all over that people are using the, sorry, I'm just trying to find the other one. I have like 4 of them. I'm just trying to find the other one. But the L.A Girl Pro Concealer. I literally love these concealers. They're my favorite concealers. I have MAC concealers. I have Becca concealers. I have NARS concealers. I do love my NARS concealer, but still, I love these concealers. These really, like, they're $2, $3, and they really match up to these concealers. It has really high coverage. They're very blendable. Even though they are a drugstore or a beauty store foundation, concealer, they're really good. Like, you see everyone wearing them because they're that good. So I have a couple colors, and the color I like to use when I'm really going to contour my face, like crazy contour, is Fawn. You see a lot of people who are lighter shade than I am using that contour. I am not using that contour today because I'm going for a more natural look. I am going to be using Chestnut, which is a little bit lighter. And I squeeze, and ooh, my chestnut's getting dark. And they do oxify, so oxidize, I'm sorry, which means they get darker in their tube. And so don't be like me and go all crazy and buy a whole bunch of them and then don't use them, because then you're stuck. So I do that first. I like to use this brush. I don't know where I got it. I believe someone gave me a brush kit that had all like dark. It didn't have a name on it. I've had it for a long time, and look, it's still intact. So for a drugstore brush, this is actually really, really good. It's one of my favorites. And I just go in and I buff it out in a circular motion. Buff, buff, buff. Buff, buff, buff. And I just buff out. This is really light, and that's what I love about it. Oh, there's shadow. I'm like, what is that? And I just go in and I buff. So So is looking like that. So I wanted to go a little bit lighter for my contour, so I'm just going to go in with just a little bit of the Fawn, and I'm going to like just tad a little bit because it just wasn't light enough for me. And I go in and I tap it on, especially when you're mixing colors on top of each other. You really want to tap on and get that good blend. And then you go in and you buff in. When you tap on, it kind of gets like really into your pores and looks like it's your natural skin. So that's really nice right there. So I'm going to go back in with my foundation brush and just buff out that line. Buff out here, buff out there, so that concealer line doesn't look too harsh. I like to go and make my face a little bit longer. A lot of people say don't do a triangle. I love my face to look longer, so I do, but it's really up to you. Some people could just do right under the eyes. I just like that look of lightness, and also makes my nose, I have a really flat nose, so it makes my nose look a little pointy as well. So contouring is all about just sculpting your face the way you want to sculpt it. Go in and just buff out that line, and then I'm going to go on top of it with just a little bit more of that foundation. And I actually did not go in with a darker color today. I just didn't. Let's go back on with that foundation right on top, and I get it all under my neck. It's all about blending. Makeup is all about blending. Some people say, why do I come in and my face always look different from when you do it? And I said, because I blend, my friend. So this went in on my chin, and I'm not worried about how light under my chin is because I'm going to go in a darker powder. So now I'm going to do my nose, and I'm going to go in with the same Chestnut, and I'm just going to start from right here and right down. Then I'm going to go on my forehead and go there. Oop, just touch my eyebrows. And I like to do that because it gives me a little bit of a shine right between my eyebrows. And go in and buff. And then this is the hard part to do on the camera. So I go in on my nose and I just up and down. I think this is the only place I really sweep. Up and down on my nose, just really blending out that line. So now I go in with the darkest color I have, and I was so happy to find this dark color, and this is Mahogany. And I go right, just make sure you squeeze away from your face, because they do come up pretty fast. And I just go right against that line, and you can really mold and sculpt your face the way you like it. I like to elongate my nose and bring it a little bit bigger here, and then give myself a little bit of a button nose because I have a flat nose. Give myself a little bit of a button nose. Oh, look at that, I have a button nose. So I go in with the brush, the same brush, I don't change it out, still has some of the light color in there, and I just buff this down. Buffing out some of that darkness. And I have not set my powder yet, so powder is the last thing. Also doing this side, really buffing out, mind the shadow, buffing out that line, and doing the same here, just buffing out that line, and doing the same. Like I said before, all about blending. All right. So I am going to go in with that darker foundation, which is just a tad bit darker. And I am going to, and I gotta just show you. This is the sienna. See that? And this is the cacao. I don't know if I could get it on. And this is the cacao. So you see the difference? It's just a tad bit darker. So if you're a little bit darker, then you'll see. So now I go in and I use this as a little bit of a contour, and I probably add a little bit of mahogany to it. And I contour, bring it up right under there, just to add a little dimension to my face. And doesn't look that stark on the camera, but it is. And I just go in and buff. And I also do the same thing with the dark hair. I go in and buff. And right here I sweep because I want that dimension line. Give myself some really strong. I don't need any other strong features, but can't live without it. It's who I am. It's who I am. And I just go in, creating that dimension in that line. Oh, it's raining. Creating that dimension in that line. All right. Just a little bit more. And I try not to waste my makeup, so I go back in and just and I blend. There you go. Go back to the foundation brush and just blend out all those harsh lines. Give my face some dimension. There we go. So now I'm going to go in with the powder, and I love the mineralized powder by Fix, and this is N100. And I'm going to go in with a, trying to find a really good brush. I'm going to go in with my Eco Tools brush, powder brush. It's almost like a blush brush. I like this brush because it has a point to it, and I tap on my powder. And these brushes are so soft, and I go right there. I don't really hit where I highlighted my face. I just go in and tap this makeup on. Go under my neck. Some people forget that. On my chin. And this is a really light powder, and that's why I like it, because I don't like that powdery look. It's a really light powder. Tap on my nose. Tap on my forehead, but I leave this area right there. So I'm tapping just on my forehead. And tapping. And just blending and setting that powder. With the same brush, I am going to use my Sacha Buttercup powder. If you don't have the Sacha Buttercup powder, girl, you don't know what you're missing. So I am going to go in with this brush. I believe this brush and this other brush that I was using is part of the collection. Like I said before, I don't know where I got those brushes from. I think someone gave it to me as a gift, but I loved it. And I'm just going to go under my eyes with that Sacha Buttercup powder and just tap it on. Don't be shy. Just tap it on. I'm also going to do the same right in the center of my forehead. Just using that yellow powder. Gives a nice little finish under my eyes. And I'm patting it on. Really getting it in there and just patting it on, blending it in. And blending it in. Getting in the forehead right there. Give you that nice shine. This powder is everything. It's to die for. It's one of my favorites. I don't know what I'll do with it. I'm just getting that powder right in there. I was thinking about putting on lashes today. I don't know. But today's a lashes kind of day. So that's that. And now I'm going to go in with some of the blush. Gotta hurry it up. My favorite brush, if you don't know, is Dolce Vita by NARS. It's a pretty blush. I'm going to use that same powder brush and just swipe it on very lightly. I'm going to go crazy with it. Add on some of the same kind of color from NARS, and this is Damaged. Go in with a dark brown pencil, and I always prime my lip before I do anything, and I just use baby lips. So primer. Then I go in. This is such a creamy lip. Very natural. And that's usually how I do my everyday foundation and my everyday look. I usually always use Dolce Vita for my shadow, but not for my shadow, my Dolce Vita for my blush. It's very light, it's very pretty, especially on my complexion and my skin tone. And I usually just use a lip gloss or something like that, or sometimes it's lipstick. But those two products that I use was Becca, and that's how I do my foundation. Very fast, very easy, and then I'm out the door. I hope you guys like it. Please don't forget to subscribe, and write a comment down below. Let me know what you want to see and what you like, and I'll start doing a little bit more videos. Thank you again for coming to my page, and have a good day.